Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Firoz Sheikh and I am the Azure Network and Security Architect at SNP Technologies. SNP Technologies is a Microsoft-only cloud partner based in Connecticut. We help business transform with innovative cloud-based solutions that harnesses the power of Microsoft Azure. Today, I will be presenting on SNP's Hybrid Cloud Framework, our scalable solution that helps organizations of all sizes and across different industries an accelerated path to a successful cloud adoption. Now, without further ado, let's begin. I will start by walking you through our foundation services, which are crucial to help you build a comprehensive hybrid cloud approach across your organizations and throughout your IT life cycle. So to establish a strong foundation on cloud, we enable these four services, also known as four pillars of Azure Framework or Cloud Adoption Framework. Azure Governance, Hybrid Connectivity, Hybrid Identity, Azure Unified Security Management. So let's talk more about these services. Azure Governance. Now, with more companies adopting cloud as part of their digital transformation journey, many struggle to control the cloud sprawl. In a cloud-native governance model, we get a complete access to the platform through a self-service model, which is key to retain the ability and speed. Azure Governance is SNP's integrated security and consulting approach, which implements best practices, policies, process, standards in management of the cloud. We do it by starting with Azure Subscription Management, which is setting up governance in one's environment, structuring the hierarchy, and organizing resources which by management groups and defining through the hierarchical model. Then we implement role-based access control, which is kind of a fine-grained access management to Azure resources, basically defining who would have access to what resources on Azure. Then we talk about Azure policies, which is the backbone of the Azure governance, which enforces the compliances and policies in a real time. Policies like controlling what type of resources that can be provisioned at what location. We could also have policies like naming convention, which enforces a standard naming convention across Azure Azure infrastructure. Then we talk about Azure Blueprints, which is an automated approach to repeatable cloud resources. It's an automated, easy to deploy solution which helps us for a governed cloud environment for repeatable setups. Then we talk about cost management, and everyone would want to monitor the cloud spends and optimize those resources according to that. The ability to slice and dice the data and analyze in a multidimensional way through cloud cost management is what we could help. Then we talk about Azure Resource Graph, which is a query-based approach to Azure resources. We could definitely have Resource Graphs provides a way to interactively explore these resources on Azure through a query-based approach and helps us to analyze the cloud resources at a scale. So once these governance practices are implemented, we move on to the next foundation services, establishing the connectivity to Azure. Azure connectivity gives the ability to extend the on-prem network to Azure, and we could do that with different options. The primary and the more reliable option is ExpressRoute, which is a point-to-point connectivity from on-prem to Microsoft Azure, which is basically an MPLS connectivity to Microsoft Azure. Then, or we could also have a VPN to Azure Cloud, which is basically having a site-to-site VPN connectivity from on-prem to Azure Cloud. We could achieve it using marketplace appliances like Cisco ASAs, Palo Altos, checkpoints, FortiGates, and many other marketplace appliances. Then we could also have a SD software defined connectivity solution like virtual WAN, which Azure provides as a solution, which automates a branch connectivity at a global scale. Then we would also have an option of application delivery controllers, which talks about at an application layer where we could scale the application and create a highly available solutions for your applications on Azure. So we have different tools from Microsoft tool set, and at the same time we could also leverage marketplace appliances like third-party vendor devices, appliances like Cisco, and many other, as mentioned earlier. Then we move on to establishing the identity services, where we kind of have a common login across our organization infrastructure. Azure Hybrid Identity enables organizations to have a common login across the on-prem and extended to Azure. We could do it by Azure AD Connect. Azure AD Connect integrates with an on-prem directory with Azure Active Directory and allowing a common identity. We could also have a domain controller on Azure, which is provisioning a highly available solution of Active Directory on Azure. Managed domains on Azure helps us in building a dev test environment that can be isolated from the on-prem Active Directory for testing purposes. We could also have federation services on Azure by extending the ADFS farm to Azure for highly available solutions. Seamless single sign-on provides users an easy access to cloud-based applications without requiring any additional on-prem components. We could have or extend the identity services on the Linux environment by integrating Linux servers with Azure Active Directory, which is having a common identity across the entire server infra on-prem or at Azure. So once we have established these identity services and we move on to the last service or defining the security baseline service, which are the crucial for Azure. Azure Unified Security brings the capability of centralized security management from on-prem infrastructures to Azure Cloud with all these cloud-native solutions from Azure. Having a centralized policy management, advanced threat protection, integrated security solutions, all these features can be leveraged from Azure Security Center, which is an offering from Azure. Then we could also leverage Azure Sentinel, which is a cloud-native security event management solution from Microsoft, which helps us for managing all security events from on-prem and from cloud, and it can also be integrated with third-party cloud providers. The advantage of Azure Sentinel is it's powered with AI and have some automated solutions like where we could achieve security orchestration automated response. Then we enable Azure's Network Watcher, which provides an insight over network performances and health. We could capture packets by setting up alerts and also gain access and understand the real-time performances of the applications or network by Network Watcher. Then we also enable network security, which is kind of the core component from Azure, and leveraging Azure's NSGs, network security groups, which kind of becomes the access list, allowing and denying and defining who would have access to the resources on Azure. Using these services from Azure, we could also leverage some marketplace appliances like third-party vendors from Qualys, from F5s to achieve much better security services. So this has been an overview of SNP's Cloud Adoption Framework. We would appreciate you being here. The slide contains our contact information for our sales team, so feel free to contact us. Thank you again for joining us today, and we will see you next time.